LIFO, from a vocabulary standpoint, stands for last in, first out. So the cost is the value we're placing on the stuff we purchased last. That second point, it seldom coincides with actual flow, because from a, like, if you think about strawberries at Willie's, you want to sell the first ones that came in first. So that's what that second bullet point means, especially with stuff that could spoil or go bad. From a product perspective, they're definitely going FIFO. The last time I did this and introduced FIFO, we talked about what's still here and what's gone. So with LIFO, the newest stuff is what we're recognizing or selling at. The oldest stuff is what's shush or still here. Now stuff, yes, but remember, this is more of the value of that. And so you might say with LIFO, do you ever reach the bottom of the pile? Maybe not. Now again, not necessarily with stuff, but that cheap stuff is the one that's always still here. Okay. We're doing these same 100, 200, 300, 400. We're doing these same numbers. Do you have a little chart though for them? Good. Sorry, I didn't erase this. So the nice part is you're dealing with the same numbers. So if we started with beginning inventory, is that the oldest or the newest stuff? Oldest, because we're at the end of the year. So the oldest stuff is still sitting there. It's what we started with, and then we added more, we added more, we added more. Our price is going up or down? They're going up. And so we're going to, with FIFO, we're going to start, you know, this is what sold, these few. Now, we have to do, step one is to figure out how many units. Step two is to figure out the cost. But then do you remember what was happening like next? This is where it feels really backwards. Really backwards. Because before we figure out the cost of goods sold, because this is the S category and over here is still here, we have to back into this and figure out what's still here and then roll into what's sold. So it's kind of a little, we're going to take a little detour, figure out what's still here, and then go into what's sold. Remember, we have to add this in. Minus 450, and that's what's still here, equals what did we sell? 550? Yeah. Do you remember doing that with me last week? I should back up just so you can see where those numbers. This is what's shush, and this is what's sold is gone. Just so you see where those numbers came from. Okay. So we're going to stop and do the shush camp first. If we're talking values with LIFO, the oldest stuff is shush, still here. Remember, we're trying to get this number to be 450 because that's what the inventory counters found out is shush or still here. So the oldest stuff is what's still here. So we're going to start from the top and work our way down until we can get this to equal 450. So we're going to use all of 100. We're going to use all of 200. Am I getting close? How much of that August 24th purchase are we going to account for that's still here? 150. Because that then equals 450. So if we used 150, what's sold out of that? Another 150 plus 450 is, woohoo, 550. So it's a really nice way to double check your math. So let's work backwards. Our first date will be January 1st. We're going to take all of those 100 units, account for the $10 because this is all about the values. Up above is the stuff, down below are the values. The 100 units that we paid 10 bucks for each, still here sitting collecting dust, are costing us $1,000. We already said that we're going to use all of the next purchase, or 200 at 11 bucks, 2,200 there. Those might seem like the easy ones. The next one, we already calculated that although we bought 300, we're only going to account for the 150 that are shush or still here at 12 bucks a piece. We got that right here. And you'd have to, of course, do your math for that one, 1,800. So the 450 units that are shush or still here are costing us 1,000 plus 2,200 plus 1,800 for a total value of $5,000 that are still here collecting dust. It feels backwards because we had to look at all the first stuff. Now it's time to figure out the LIFO stuff. The last in is the first out that's gone. The 12,000 came from right here. The cost of goods available minus what? What's this next line going to be? Minus cost of goods, shush, still here. So I took this 5,000 from over here to finally equal our cost of goods sold, $7,000. Here's where we can do kind of a little comparative analytical look. This is kind of where I get kind of dorky and love this. I'm going to backtrack a bit to when we were talking about this one. Under FIFO, our cost of goods sold, 6,200. Under LIFO, it was a lot, well, not a lot more, but it was 7,000. Why? Why was the cost, same stuff, same costs, but why was the cost of goods sold higher here? Selling them, we're valuing that more expensive stuff. Same little truck. We see the 150-150 split right here because we have 450 shush still sitting in our warehouse, and wasn't it 550 gone? I don't know where my numbers came for that, but whatever. That's gone. That truck was up here last time, sending out a cost of 6,200. Down here, it's selling our oldest valued prices at more expensive. Would it look like this if prices were not rising? If prices were going down, it would look different. If prices stayed the same, would it even really matter? No. So what I'm going to tell you, kind of like how, you know, when we work through financial statements and it always seems like we have a net income, it's always going to kind of feel like prices are rising. I would like to talk about average cost tomorrow. So I think this is a perfect time to find those same two projects we did on Friday, and we're just going to do the LIFO version of them today instead. You might want to have this sheet handy. I think it's really helpful. As far as a checklist goes. I'm going to hit pause for just a minute. Okay, so you've got this little cheat sheet as a guide. We're going to roll into the same Linda's boards. We're selling the Expert Snowboard. What I like about this is now we're going to get to see a side-by-side comparison of everything. All right, we have 141 available. Was that step one? Yes. Step two was, all right, these 141 boards, the cost was going up. Units times unit cost, we've got 14,442. The reason I made sure to put that on your little cheat sheet, sometimes you're going to have to figure that out when we get into the problems. On the test, you're going to have to figure that out. So that's why I wanted to make sure it's on your cheat sheet. Okay. We sold 121. How many are still here? 20. Okay, all of those same numbers work, but these numbers no longer are going to be the same. Because with LIFO now, we've got to figure out shush, and we've got to figure out sold, but I like to do a breakdown up here. So the the shush, yeah, we're only doing 20 of this 30. That's still here. But then 50, excuse me. And then the stuff that's sold, 30 plus 20 plus 45 plus 26, I hope equals 121. I assume it does. Okay. So this is where things feel backwards for two reasons. We're flipping it all around, and we've got to back into the stuff that's still here to calculate cost of goods sold. So what's still here? 20 of that. Wait a minute. Did I get myself? Did I do this side backwards? Yes. Still here. I did it all backwards, didn't I? Shoot. Sorry, you guys. I'm like, wait a minute, it can't be. All right. So 20 of our oldest is still here. You guys should have said something. No. And then 6 of that oldest stuff has actually sold. And then 45 and 20 and 50. Okay, there we go. I was wondering why that didn't look like it added up to 121. All right, so 20 of our oldest stuff is shush. Stop right there. Why under FIFO did we take the 105? Why are we switching it to 97 at this point? The oldest values are shush. The newest values have gone. Yes, you got it. So 20 at 97, I think. Are you sure? I trust you. 1940. Okay. But did you see me get even kind of a little bit confused as I switched my mindset from LIFO to FIFO? It's really easy to do. So I caution you there. All right, so we've backwards in there. Now let's go to the sold side. Cost of goods available is always this number. Can you see where if you did that wrong, the whole thing would be mixed up? Yep. Minus cost of goods, shush. So with FIFO, the newest stuff here. With LIFO, the oldest stuff still here. And I got that 1940 from Jenna. But I did check my math over here too. So then that leaves equals cost of goods sold. Is it 12,502? Okay. I love this problem because we can see a side by side. Those two highlighted numbers are the whole goal here, you guys. How much is it costing that's gone? Well, with FIFO, the cost is $12,342. With LIFO, we're selling more expensive stuff. Not that it's a dramatic difference, but it ends up being about a $200 difference. So it's bringing up a larger cost. Try doing the next one on your own. This one. How'd your numbers shake out? Good. Does it feel easier the second time around? You just have to train your brain to flip everything.